bill. Oh, nice. So I'm starting off on my ceiling now, as you can see. Starting with insulation. I actually started with fixing another leak, which I'm pretty sure is totally fixed. I'm gonna double check tomorrow once the sealant I put up is 100% cured. The part that was leaking was, I think, where the seal is on the top of the windshield on the exterior, because I didn't realize this when I was doing the roof, but the adhesive behind that seal, like, it didn't work anymore. So now I'm starting on the ceiling, and this is 1/2 inch foam board insulation, which is only an R value of 3, but as you saw before, the ceiling, especially right here, is very bowed, so I didn't want to do anything too thick. So I'm okay with doing the 1/2 inch. It's better than nothing, and I think it's probably going to be better than the headliner I had up here before, which I was going to potentially reuse if it wasn't, you know, moldy like it was. So the spray foam is kind of in the way, but I'm not even going to cut it off. In those areas, I'm just going to like push it up if I can. I'm going to glue this. Yeah, I'm going to glue it, because then that's just done, and I think that's going to help me make decisions. The insulation's up, glued. I mean, it's not yet, but that's what I'm going to be telling myself. I've used so many different kinds of construction adhesive, silicone adhesive, etc. And I've never found one that that's my go-to, that I really like for projects. So I'm just trying a new one. Haven't tried this one before. We are in Kentucky, folks. We are in rural Kentucky. Where the shooting never stops. Yeah, I'm gonna adhere this up here. I'm gonna adhere this up here. Put these back. I'm gonna take these down now. Then put them back. And then I'm probably going to leave it overnight. Cure time 24 to 48 hours. Huh. Good morning, it's another day, and my piece of insulation is still up. My holders here stayed in place all night, so that was good, and I think I'm just gonna leave them for right now until I need to get up in there in that space again. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is cut out the piece of wood that I'm going to use for the ceiling. This is 1/4 inch birch. It's really thin, as you can tell, but the nice thing about it being 1/4 inch is that it's more flexible, and since the front isn't completely straight across, it does kind of bow down a little bit. I wanted it to be flexible. And I think this side is going to be the side that you see just because it's really pretty. That's why I picked this piece. The other side is pretty plain. So once I stain it, I think it'll look a lot nicer. Definitely isn't perfect. Are you gonna help me? You are? I think that was the adhesive coming off. Oh no! It's not adhered at all over here. Let's see about this side. I knew it was 50-50. Like it was either gonna stick up there or it wasn't. Oh my gosh, yeah. I think it'll be fine because once I have the wood in here, it's just gonna hold this up anyway. I just thought it would be nice if this was adhered. I can hear it unattaching right now. It's fine. All right, let's go get the wood. Oh my gosh. This is where it would be nice. Have another person like helping hold this up. Okay. Oh my gosh. This isn't like the insulation, Andy. You can't just force it. Okay, so I need to take some off of what? Off of what? I definitely need to take some off of the sides. Just simply so it can go up. Like it's not going to be able to go up over here. That could be the first thing I do. My thought is that this wood will go under this wood. Or above, however you want to say it. Like, I'll unscrew these and this will go in and, or wait. Actually, I don't know. Now that I'm saying that, I don't know. Maybe not. Driver's side, passenger side? Oh no, passenger side. Wait. Normally I like to use saws with a straight edge, and I'm not doing that. So hard. Oh, it's 2 layers of metal. Starting to feel like I'm making some progress because I got both of the side pieces screwed up. Now I'm gonna make marks here on the top, and I'm gonna go every other panel. So I'm gonna have 8 screws across. So I already took the screws out of the panels, and I'll screw through the panel into the metal. I hope. That's my plan. This has been pretty hard, but I think this part's coming together. You know, the wood. I still have all the electrical to do, but we're not there yet. I'm my own worst critic for sure. It's not going to be perfect, Andy. It's just not going to be perfect. It doesn't work like that. The front does need something, at least over here. I don't know, it's just like the wood is kind of warped or whatever. But also, I mean, usually these are going to be up, right? maybe it actually doesn't. Maybe I am just being too hard on myself. Not like that's going to be down all the time. It's pretty much always going to be up. Unless my windshield cover is up, then I'll have these down because they hold the windshield cover in place. But hey, it's not that bad. So I'm not going to actually wire everything together quite yet because I have to put the lights through the front, or like the bottom, and then wire from the back side. But I think I'm gonna at least like get a feel for exactly how I'm going to wire them, and I might go ahead and just wire my dimmer switch. Okay, I'm gonna try cutting it out with my knife. Hey, I did a pretty good job. Is that hollow back there? Wait a second. Are you kidding me? Giving it all for nothing. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my headlamp. Oh my god. It's on my Wow, this couldn't be any better. Things are going well today. I love it. I need to make my hole slightly bigger. Best way to make it bigger. So I did try using the jigsaw off camera, and I just felt like it was a little too aggressive for this. So that's why I just kept trying to use the knives. I guess I'll just keep doing that. Okay. So right after I said the jigsaw was too aggressive, I thought to myself, maybe I could use it though, because I already made the hole. And my intuition said, no, just be patient and use your knife. Always listen to your gut. I still have this piece. I'm going to glue it back on. This is me staying positive and not being hard on myself for just messing up. The piece of wood that I broke off there that I was going to glue back on, I unfortunately dropped it down in there behind my counter, and it is gone forever. I think what I'll end up just having to do is put wood filler in there and then sand it down and paint it with the same color paint at least. So I am going to glue some other aspects of this thing that I did, but my switch does fit in there, and I am confident that the wiring that I'm going to run from up here can come down this way, come to the switch, and then very easily go down to my power supply. So yeah, work on it more maybe tomorrow. It's supposed to be really cold tomorrow, so we'll see. She's so cute. It's so cold out today. So Elion's laying in the sun, and we got the heater going. Super cozy. Okay, I cut the wire. So that's what I have left over. Ended up having some visitors, so that took a little bit, which was welcome. Now I'm going to start wiring up the dimmer. I have all the wiring here done. I have the wiring going to my fuse box ready to be hooked up. So now I just need to hook up this wiring to my lights, meaning I need to now bring in my piece of wood and cut the holes for the lights. This is the ceiling piece, all stained and polyed, ready to go. I think it turned out really pretty, and I'm excited to see it in here with the cedar paneling on the other part of the ceiling. This is exciting. Oh man. I'm going to split this into thirds and then do each light on the third mark and then halfway between. Woohoo! Will the light fit in the hole? Oh my gosh, look at that. So satisfying when something works out. The hole saw came out. That is just very satisfying, is it not? My mom called, so I was on the phone with her, and while I was talking to her, I finished the wiring up here for the lights. So, drum roll, please. We got our switch. Ah! So satisfying. So the dimmer works, the switch works, it all works. I'm so excited. So now we get to put it all up. I'd still love for something to happen up there, but you know, just kind of sit down a little bit further than I was hoping. Should I leave it like that, or should I try to adjust it with the, that would mean I'd have to take all the screws out again and then carve out some of the insulation, but I'm not sure that, I guess that's the issue. Oh my gosh. So exciting. I can't wait until tonight. So I decided I am taking it down again to try to make the lights flush. I can't help myself, so just gonna do it, and I'm gonna try to do it quickly because this project's taking a long time. Right there. It's okay. It's okay. Didn't want that to happen, but it did. Now I'm going to use this wood filler and just fill in that spot that I kind of gouged, and then sand it down once it's dry. And then I need to decide between this cork that I got. It's a roll of cork, but it's, as you can see, like kind of thin, and this felt. I just thought it would be nice to fully finish this front area since I did the ceiling and everything. So I'm also kind of seeing now that I don't know that I have enough of this. I thought the measurements were longer when I ordered it, but it's seeming like I might not even have enough to use this. So this is what the felt would look like against the ceiling, which I actually like. It does look really good, and I could see it being up here. I don't know how well it would really like wrap, but yeah, I would like screw that through here. Or the other option is this cork. That looks pretty cool. I could do one of the two things over top of those. Wouldn't this be kind of cool? I mean, obviously not like this, but like fit to it, like a cork dashboard. I feel like Elilon would like that a lot, but I don't really know like how it would do in the sun or anything. But anyway, just thought I'd point that out. I decided I'm gonna go with the, please don't come undone, with the cork on the front and perhaps the felt on the sides. My arms are dead, just I think from this whole project. I'm hoping this is gonna work. I don't know, it definitely seemed like it was struggling a little bit. Still seems like it's struggling a little bit to stay adhered. So we'll see what happens, especially like with temperature fluctuations and stuff. But I like it. I like how cork looks, you know. It just is very, it's like calming. But I'm gonna continue working on this. I figured I would just do 3 pieces like that across the front. Just would be a little easier to work with, which I'm glad I'm doing it like that. And then we'll see what I have left in the end. I do want to cover up like this part too, but there's a lot of like curves and bumps and stuff, and the cork does not really like that. So I'm just kind of doing what I can here, and I'll show you at the end. Look at how bright that is. I knew that this was going to brighten it up there, but I didn't even realize it was going to be this bright and clear. That's amazing. I'm so excited. And then if we dim them, let me zoom out again. It's not coming through on the camera as much, but that is still very cozy. For now, I am totally done, and honestly, I love it. There's a couple of things that I still have to finish. So I have to finish the trim. I have to figure out what I'm going to use for a piece of trim that's going to go between the front and the back ceiling. The dimmer works perfectly. And I think that my favorite part about all of this is actually the cork, which was also, dare I say, the hardest part of this whole project. I think just, yeah, working with the cork and the adhesive and like holding it up and working with the curves of the van was just really hard. So after I was done with all of that, my arms were totally dead. I just felt exhausted, but I really like how it turned out. There's some like bubbling, I guess you could say, in a couple parts, and that is where the screws are, the screws that go into the wood pieces. So I'm not going to be too hard on myself about that. It just is like that in a couple spots. It's imperfect. There are imperfections, but I do like it. I'm really happy that I went with the cork and that I had enough. And I even have a little bit of extra of it. So I did test out the lights in the dark last night, and they just work great. I like that I put a dimmer in instead of an on-off switch, because when they're fully lit, like all the way up, it's very bright, which is going to be really good for nighttime, like cooking and getting in my fridge or cleaning. But if I'm just getting in at night and I'm somewhere in a parking lot or somewhere where I don't have my window covers up, it's going to be really nice to have it on the dim setting, because even with the lights all the way dim, it still provides enough like ambient light up here that I can see. It's kind of like a normal dome light. All in all, very satisfied with how this project went. Things that I would do differently if I did this project all over again. For one thing, I wouldn't have bought the birch. I think I would just stick with the same kind of plywood that I used for the cabinets and that was used for the counter and the bed frame, which is the sand plywood. I think that's what it's called. It would have, I think, matched a little better, and I would have saved some money, but also not a huge deal. I probably would have put more effort into cutting out the areas above each of these lights so that they'd sit a little bit more flush. I did take this down and cut out parts of the insulation so that they would sit more flush, and they do sit more flush than they did before I did that, but they're still not perfect. So I would probably just put a little bit more effort into that next time. I think by the time I had like cut out part of the insulation and then put this back up and then saw that they weren't perfect, I was just so tired. My arms were so tired of like holding all of this stuff up that I was like, I'm not doing it again. I also didn't want to keep screwing and unscrewing all of these screws into the ceiling because I felt like I was starting to kind of like strip those holes because the metal that the screws are going into is pretty thin. So I didn't want to wear all of those holes out and have to keep making new ones. And then, yeah, doing this better. But everything with the wiring went great. There's nothing I would have changed about any of the electrical. That was really good. Just looking forward to doing those last two things, getting the piece of trim up here and painting that little imperfection there. So yeah, thanks for watching. I might add in an update depending on when I get these other things done to the end of the video so that you can see the fully finished product. I don't know if I'm going to add this into the video, if I'm going to make the video at all or anything now. As you can see, I'm like a little upset, which is putting it lightly. I'm like pretty upset. It's a few days, I guess, a few days after finishing the ceiling, and it was absolutely downpouring for a lot of this evening. And I opened the door and I turned the light on and water was just pouring down. Maybe pouring is an exaggeration, but like very steadily, multiple water was leaking pretty significantly. And I just don't even know at this point where it's coming from. I don't know where it's leaking in at. Luckily, there's space for me to pull in undercover, and I just don't even know what to do. I put so much energy in so many different forms into this project, and it's a very defeating feeling to just open the door and see like all this water pouring in. There's also a leak in the back somewhere from in between some of the paneling, so I'll have to address that at some point as well. So I guess I'm just like trying to be real and honest. Put a lot of money into this van, and water leaking is like the thing I want the least. So it's the next day and I've just been up on the roof kind of inspecting everything, and I do not know where the water is coming in. Everything I patched on the roof, like on the exterior of the van, still looks solid. There's no cracks in it, so I don't think the water's coming in there. The front seam that I repaired is totally solid. It's not coming in there. So unfortunately, I don't think I have any sort of resolution for the end of this video. Or just for myself, for the problem, like for the leak. So yeah, as you saw, like last night was pretty disheartening after all the work I put into this project, and just how proud I was of it, I think, as well, is like a really big part of it. Yeah, if anyone has any recommendations, definitely feel free to leave them in the comments. On a positive note, I did take the van in for a tune-up yesterday. Anyway, not the not the result, the end of the video that I wanted to share, like the end of this project. but just is what it is. So moving forward, I'll probably add some more sealant to some areas on top and try to stay out of the rain. So anyway, thanks for watching, and enjoy your day, and I'll see you next time.